Engineer here. And Ravenor being played by Cheetah1X, currently known as Cheetah1 something, 881 I think. 071 gonna play the Pharaoh, most likely heading on the long lane as we see him already walking up there. Puppet Master again being played by Punk Pang, and he had a really good Puppet Master last game.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, we're trying to make sure that we have all the casters in here. It looks like we might have missed one once more. Nova, can you check and see if Winsy was supposed to be in this game or not? Because he just said something there on Buddy Message, but I'm not exactly sure. So we, of course, want to make sure that all of the language streams do have their casters in here. And
who is not in the game?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Winsy was supposed to be in there. He just
yeah, he was supposed to be in there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's in the game. Is he now? Yes, he is. Okay, sorry.
All right.
We're just trying to make sure whenever it does go to something like a remake there's always a little bit of confusion here at LANs, especially when it's as packed as this is. You can't exactly send somebody to one of the other desks because you have to swim through a literal sea of people. So it looks like we're good until told otherwise. We should be good right here as MRR looking to go ahead and close this one out 2-0. SG fighting for their first win in this little best of two bout. And right now, 071 is heading up top, where he's going to be doing a little bit of a pull.
At least he wants to try that, but he's against a solo, so I'm not sure if he wants to really pull. He's going to do it anyways. He has 6 tangos and a life tube, so he's going to be fine in terms of RS. He doesn't have a headshot. Bubbles has to last in the tower now. That could be pretty difficult because there's not too much damage. Then mid lane we have an Empath and a Drunken Master going up here against a Ravenor Engineer. They can feast on an Empath if the Empath gets too much out of position.
And Ravenor is certainly going to be a pretty potent force here in the middle lane. And a lot of this might come down to whether or not Parasite is going to get active. Versus the dual support, the jungler and the secondary support often fulfill a lot of the same roles. And if Parasite's going to come into the middle lane to generate pressure, then you're going to need to actually pull from the bottom lane and get the Rhapsody involved here in the middle lane as well. So it's going to come down to really who gets more involved from those two players.
Yep. And right now we have seen this before. What is Rhapsody doing right now? She was attacking the creeps here. Oh, she's trying to get the creep wave connected to a creep.
And she will get the archer.
Going to get the archer. That is something. Archer might actually be able to kill the 2 Screechers, and Rhapsody is going to get the gold, so that is good. We already see a lot of pulling, stacking, I should say, going on. Again, Dragmaster taking a little bit of damage, being half HP right now. He is 150 from his bottle, so he is perfectly fine. Raven on the other end is exactly the same. Now 100 from his bottle. So going with the stats quickly. Pharaoh against Bubbles. That is one of the oldest matchups in the world, I should say, for Heroes of New Earth. And right now we have a Bubbles sitting on 8 and 2 and a Pharaoh on 9 and 0, so it's very equal overall. Obviously, we're gonna have the whole from Chessie, his war beast, the battle cry, helping out the Bubbles in the long run.
Yeah, and well, trying to help out the Bubbles as they do actually force Pharaoh out of the lane here. But middle lane, Drunken Master taking a considerable amount of damages. That's 3 players in each lane trying to bring home a kill, but Drunken Master as well as Pharaoh proved to be a little bit too elusive. So neither one of them going to be going down there as this early game situation. And Stay Green, they're definitely in a pretty alright spot as Warbeast has been using the Hellhounds to pretty serious effect, bringing the creep waves back to himself and allowing him to farm. Seems that although Chessie normally plays the carry, he's still perfectly fine in the suicide lane on a Warbeast.
And Dragmaster was actually supposed to die middle, but he used a very well-timed jump to get just out of the keg range, so the keg got him into the different direction, the other direction, so he was not going to die against those 3 units while Empath was trying to gank on the top lane. So we see some early game rotations, obviously not from Parasite, as we talked about many times now, that he's supposedly just farming in the early game until he gets a good gold lead on the enemy supports, perhaps being level 1 for instance.
And Puppet Master, he's definitely having a decent time farming. Once again, seeing that Ward of Sight down here in the bottom lane. This is just a really odd one. You know, you talked about it being a little bit of a SEA-ism almost to get those early lane points, but against a War Beast, like, do you really feel that he needs that, or is that just a little bit of a waste of what could have been otherwise useful vision?
I have no idea why you would ever want to play Zillingwood against a War Beast. It just doesn't make sense. He's pulling the pre-wave anyways. He's never a threat to you. Parasite is not going to gank your lane in forever. So it is, I think it's a standard thing. It's something they just do, and they just don't deviate from it.
If he's comfortable with it, then that's something that he's going to do. Is 4-minute rune, Empath going to be able to pick up the refreshment there in the bottom river as Bubbles
Wild Hunter
bottles
actually
up
middle.
Invis. And speaking of Invis, well, that's going to be Ravener going in with a beautiful ball lightning that just happened to hit Parasite perfectly as he hopped on out of that Wild Hunter. So not going to be able to set up a kill right there, as the second attempt from SG is still going to be falling flat. And unlike what we saw previously, Minus has been getting very involved. Once in the top lane, twice in the middle lane now, and he hasn't been able to successfully set up a kill.
Yeah, it is interesting, and it also kind of shows that SG might be shaken, because we have talked about this several times now. It is not his playstyle. He is very effective with the playstyle of farming up early game and not ganking. He's having a huge effect and impact on the game with that, but right now he's trying to change it up, and currently hasn't really had an impact just yet. And I mean, usually you would see a much bigger gold lead at this point, with the Parasite just farming away against two supports.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as a result of moving around, not as big. But if he's ever able to set up that kill, that could pay off quite a bit. Right now, SG is still retaining at least a small resource advantage, as they have been able to do pretty well in the bottom lane. A lot of that, in fact, coming from making sure that Chessie's denying at least some farm the Puppet Master, but he's still sitting on 310 gold per minute, which is just fine. Finishing up his Steam Boots right now, and Chessie, until he's able to get a little bit more in the way of levels, talking like level 6, level 7, he's not going to be able to farm out the Ancients, anything like that. One more time, middle lane, Wild Hunter is here. They're going to try to set up on Ravener. Rev Ward is down. Parasite going in, going to drop Leech, but that's it. He's just going in, dropping the Leech and running away. Once again, his farm being negatively impacted.
Yep. Not sure what this is about, because obviously they do try to do something with those Wild Hunters, and they're probably asking for help as well. They want an early advantage, but look at the gold lead again. It's non-existent. There is no gold lead. And
yeah, Ravener is in some trouble here. That's a hasted Bubbles coming out in. Yeah, and the Kelp Field, they are going to be able to bring up the Bloodlust kill right there. So Stay Green going to get a big boost of confidence as they are finally able to take down Cheetah in that middle lane. His Magnus was absolutely instrumental to the win in the last one. And if they're able to shut down Ravener this time, maybe Cheetah won't be able to have that same kind of impact.
Yep. There is a triple stack small camp, but Ravener is not the best stack farmer, so it's not necessarily something he can make use of. Engineer can actually farm this camp very easily with a level 3 or level 4 turret and the Keg to finish it off, so that would be something good for him. Later, together with the Empath to get some with the Rhapsody to get some levels again, as we saw in the last game when Torture and Engineer were farming stacks as well together.
Sure. And definitely trying to go ahead and take care of that, as Warbeast on the other side was actually making his way over toward the Ancients so that he could take those out, getting a little bit of farm, as Chessie liked to do whenever he used to play something like a Suicide Warbeast, Suicide Wild Soul. It still does every once in a while. But Empath and Drunken Master in the middle lane, they'd love to find more kills, but unfortunately Ravener's not there. He's made his way into the jungle, so that's not going to be Torture and Rhapsody, or excuse me, Engineer and Rhapsody taking that double stack out. They actually left it for Ravener, but they're going to be able to find a counter ward at least.
They found a very interesting ward, I have to say. That was really interesting that they found that ward, and it was interesting that it was placed there as well by Empath. Really wanting to see the movement from Rhapsody and going against, but now the ward is taken out. Mid lane has to play defensive. Luckily the wave is pushing into their tower right now, so it's no grave danger just yet. Rhapsody sitting on the bottom lane again. They have the ultimate Puppet Master at level 7, so they will definitely look to do something here against the Warbeast.
Yeah, and if Chessie doesn't know that Rhapsody's there, he could have been putting himself in a little bit of a dangerous spot, as Puppet Master is keeping the wave actually pretty pushed up right now. And definitely going to be interesting to see if Chessie is going to be taken out. Right now, he's going to be finding himself a little bit disappointed, though, as there was a block on the Ancients. And that's a great read from MRR, knowing that Chessie needed to get the farm from those.
Yep.
They're making sure to deny that and remove his impact.
Warbeast having level 6 now, middle lane.
Middle lane, yeah, Ravener's in some trouble. The Keg not going to be really connecting And I think that steam turret might have actually just blocked and killed Ravener right there.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Ravener was dead anyways, but it was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, not the best, but hopefully that doesn't tilt Cheetah One. Hopefully they're not at each other's throats or anything after that one. But a second kill onto Ravener. Cheetah One definitely falling a little bit further behind in that situation. So Stay Green putting themselves in a good spot to try to even up this series.
Yep. Pharaoh having 220 GPM right now. If you look at the GPM chart, it's basically Drunk Master, Bubbles, and Puppet Master sitting up there. And then Puppet Master talking about him. He TP'd out of that gang.
Yeah, it wanted nothing to do with that one. And, well, the guys here, Ravener in the middle lane, once again getting low, doesn't want to die, so he's falling back into the jungle, using a health potion. His Drunken Master, with those Ghost Marchers, is just highly mobile.
Yep.
The stagger, the lunge, the Ghost Marchers all combined to make him a pretty dang effective force. Now, MRR looking to put themselves on the board. A Keg going to be coming in after a beautiful Wrath of the Pharaoh, and they will. Chessie adding insult to injury there. His Ancients blocked, forced into the lane, and he capitalized by putting himself in an awkward position as MRR puts one up.
Yep, he double, he counterworded the Ancients now at least, so they're going to be able to spawn right now, or should if he didn't misplace that, which he didn't, I believe. Should have enough experience there, and we have these nice indicators now as well, so yeah, never mind about that. There are stacks in the jungle, and more stacking going on as well, so Puppet Master is doing what he's doing best once he has the Whispering Helm, even though he hasn't finished it just yet, but he does need it for those medium stacks, so he's going to go at that, finishing his Whispering Helm anytime soon as well.
Now, if I recall correctly, last game, Dooku was able to get, I believe, Whispering Helm, Steam Boots, and Shroud by like 16 minutes. Like, extremely early. We're now 10.5 minutes in here, and he hasn't finished the Whispering Helm yet. His farm is significantly lower than it was in that last game. Is he going to be able to recover here in the jungle, or does he need to get active with his team since he's not farming as well?
I don't think that he needs to recover because he hasn't actually been pressured too much except for that one port out. But the thing is that if you look at the situation, we have a Ravenor as a semi-carry and a Puppet Master as a hard carry. And on the other side, we have a Warbeast as a semi-carry / hard carry and a Drunk Master as a semi-carry, sort of. It's not your typical hard carry. So he is fine with not having 500 GPM already. He can still go into later stages of the game and build on what he has right now. Obviously, if he would die now, that would be pretty rough. So Wild Hunter is in position.
Yeah, Wild Hunter in position indeed. And we'll see if they're going to try to get active on the Puppet Master whatsoever. As Puppet sends his own Minotaur there, he's going to go ahead and scout out the Empath. So Z-Freak.
Oh, Warbeast. Oh, Warbeast.
Saw him or not, but yeah, Warbeast is in a lot of trouble there in the bottom lane as Rhapsody and Puppet Master combined to bring him down. So MRR taking advantage of Chessie maybe being a little bit out of position, but here comes a TP. Parasite and Rhapsody are already in position. This is shaping up to be a big team fight here in the bottom lane. Here comes Drunken Master going on in the lunge onto Puppet Master. Here comes the Essence Link. The Staccato stuns onto Empath aren't going to be enough, and down goes Puppet. That's 4 players here from SG to get that one kill. They're looking for another. Bubbles is going to go forward, finds the kelp field. Now it's going to be dive time. Rhapsody going to be taken out with beautiful vision coming in from the Illusory Veil, and Stay Green gets 2 in the bottom lane.
Yep, they get 2. It was pretty important. They devoted, again, quite a lot to this as well, but at least it's a statement that Puppet is not safe and cannot TP out of everything.
Sure.
Pharaoh has been mostly farming. He was involved in 1 kill. He was also mid lane once, but except for that, he has been... Oh, Warbeast just using his ultimate, being really scared against that Pharaoh there. Yeah, I hope that Pharaoh is going to get his first core item anytime soon. And I hope he has something in the stash, because that's few items that he has right now.
Yeah, he's really looking for something, but, well, not going to find the kill on Warbeast, that's for dang sure. But he will get a little bit of farm there, looking for that core item as we were talking about. So that's what he's going to be getting. And, of course, with Chessie not having the ultimate down, he's going to feel a little bit more pressure himself. And not being able to farm out the left side of the jungle is going to slow down his farm even more. And Warbeast, he's one of these heroes that's kind of in between. Like, he can have a really big early game impact if he is able to knock down some early towers, if he can get the levels. But he also recovers pretty well and is still going to be able to knock down those towers just as well if you delay him by 10 minutes.
That is true, and that's what they're doing right now. Ravenor baiting with an illusion, and actually L1 team going for it, and also using quite some mana for it. So That was well played by Ravenor. He has a second illusion here, but they will be warned now, of course. If they would have gotten that kill on Ravenor, the tower would have fallen no matter what. I don't think that Ravenor... No, he doesn't even have the gold for a buyback, so that would have been a tower. So very good game sense here from GT1, not being there and farming. Instead sending his illusion and baiting on some spells. And that's another portion of energy devoted here from the HoN side on trying to get the Ravenor and the tower and not being successful with it. So I have to say, I've seen a lot from SG this game in terms of trying to get kills, trying to get into the heads of their opponent after what happened in the first game, making a statement, we are still here.
Absolutely, and Stay Green, they're going to need to continue proving that. So far in this game, they've done a pretty good job, but got to keep it up. And right now, I'm kind of looking at Parasite. One item in particular, the bolstering armband coming out here for Parasite. And this is something that's been more and more common. Up top, I got to take a look here as Pharaoh is going to take a Shell Surf song. Let's see the Kelpfield already going down. Pharaoh going to try to turn this one around. There's the Hellfire going off. The Keg is there as well. And Bubbles is likely going to be turned around on. Pharaoh isn't sure if he's in or out, though. And it's going to be a kill on a Rhapsody. Here comes the assistance from the guys at Stay Green. The Rhapsody ult is the second too late. And now Bubbles coming in one more time with the Shell Surf. A Keg is coming out as well as Bubbles is so low, but it's not going to be enough as the guys from Stay Green able to get 2 picks and get out of there with only losing the Rhapsody. Yeah,
that could have been a disaster for Stay Green here if Bubbles would have fallen. They probably would have enough resources to actually go for the Drunk Master as well. So, interesting decision for the Pharaoh to turn almost immediately. The coordination seems to be really good right now between the MRR team, because if you drop below half health, you usually want to go back and not into the enemies. But they almost made it work to great extent. They at least got something out of it right now, but it's not enough just yet.
Yeah, they're finding some space for Puppet Master, who finds himself at the Ancients right now. But guess who's there? Well, it's not Guess Who from Cats. It's going to be the guys from Stay Green coming in, maybe going to snipe an Ancient or two, trying to maybe even find a kill. They'll find the Minotaur, which is definitely a little bit aggravating, the dominated creep. And Pharaoh at least cleans up one of those with a rocket, as Stay Green committing quite a few resources to trying to snipe those Ancients.
Yep.
And at least they get it, though.
Yeah, they got like 1 or 2 creeps there. More importantly, they disrupted the Puppet Master a little bit, but not too much in the end. So, again, they haven't really gotten anything out of it. I feel like Stay Green is putting themselves kind of on a timer. They are known to be a really good team in terms of resource control, so it's not going to be a problem for them to get their farm in. But I feel like they've had so many failed attempts so far already. Yes, they are ahead 6-3. They have a decent gold and experience lead, but there was a lot of failed attempts in there as well. They are currently the better team in this game for sure. No doubt about that. But one bad team fight and everything looks completely different here already.
It's a small lead. They're going to try to expand on that by getting a Rhapsody, and they're going to do so, absolutely. Pharaoh's here, but misses the Wrath of Pharaoh. Now he might be in a little bit of trouble.
Actually, good for him that he missed that.
Yeah, he could have been in trouble one way or the other right there. But Limp falling back doesn't know how much support there is. When you throw out that Wrath of Pharaoh like that, he's probably like thinking, they got to have some more support there. But there wasn't. That Pharaoh probably would have died if that had connected.
So much damage here on the tower together with the Bulwark and Empath in the Drunk Master. They're going to want to finish the tower. There's the entry field, trying to get the Drunk Master into it and getting it with the turret actually out to deny.
Really well played right there by MVP and Eversay. Like, just fantastic. Now, Ravener is in some trouble, but now it's going to be Drunken Master trying to fall back. Pharaoh Rocket was coming in. Of course, doesn't have a Wrath of Pharaoh. That was used a little bit earlier. And Drunken Master is coming over. He's going to look for Engineer. Oh, Puppet Master's there. Beautiful bait. And down goes Mr. Drunken Master. I'm just really impressed by their ability to pull off that bait. That was fantastic.
But I think he saw him. I think he knew that Puppet was there. He was visible before already. Or, I mean, maybe he didn't see him because obviously he wouldn't have went, I guess.
Yeah,
he wants to make a statement about his balls of steel.
There you go. He wanted to go in with something going wrong right there for the guys in Stay Green, as a big pickoff coming in on that 350 gold per minute Limp Drunken Master.
Oh, Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles. I don't know if you want to be here.
He's going to get the Shell Surf off, but the strings are there. Is able to Shell Surf on out of that one. So really using the Puppet Show earlier that enabled Bubbles to take cover that off because there was no targets in range. And so just a little bit of a mistake right there, a little bit of over-eagerness at the hands of Puppet Master. And now Rhapsody's going to pay for that one. Going to get the staccato stun, number 1, number 2, and number 3 off. Puppet Master is here, needs to probably run though because Drunken Master is in tow. But here comes the support. Pharaoh is here, but he doesn't have the mana. And I don't know if this was the best decision here, but here comes Ravender.
Oh my god!
Splits the uprights though. Drunken Master is going to go down. Bubbles gets the silence onto 4 targets. That is absolutely huge. Puppet Master taking a lot of damage. Ravender going to be the first one to fall from the Legion team. Most likely, no. He survives. Puppet Master trying to live. There's another beautiful keg into the energy field, into a ball lightning, and down goes Parasite. 2 players are living. Oh no, Bubbles misses the shell surf, and it looks like no targets are going to go down. Keg is there. Bubbles really needs to fall back, but Mr. Schwendeman's feeling like he can get a kill right here, looking for his next shell surf, and here it comes. Into the base, shell surf's on out. He's now out of mana, and a ball lightning is corralling him in here. Can there be any response from MRR? It doesn't look like it.
That was smart play by Raven, or he knew that he was in danger if he went straight to the base, so he just waited patiently, even trying to get a counter kill here. So let's look at the replay. That was such a scrappy team fight. That was insane. Rhapsody going down, obviously, after a long chase. So much resources being used for Pharaoh is in there as well with the mummy wall. So the first ball lightning misses. That could have made the team fight entirely different. Puppet Master actually gets another shroud hit out later here. Now he's using the shroud. And with a really good NG ulti, I have to say, he's able to get at least 1 more hit out, and that melts
and then
the Parasite there.
Perfect combination right there on the stun. Bubbles misses a key shell surf that would have netted him not 1, but 2 kills most likely. And that doesn't work out. Switterman still having a fantastic game at 4-0-2 in stark contrast to what we saw out of him in the last game. Finishes up a portal key and now a sackstone to get a crucial amount of armor against important heroes like this Puppet Master.
I don't know, man. What I'm worried about here for Stay Green, they are 10-7 right now. They have almost 5,000 gold lead and a couple thousand experience lead, but Puppet is the highest farmer in the game, and Raven, of course, he would like to have higher farm, but he does have his portal key now. This is actually looking somewhat grim for Stay Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of situation where they're not super far ahead right now, and just like, as always, one team can fight to turn around. One way to get themselves further ahead, though, is with this Concord kill. You throw the Token of Life onto somebody like Drunken Master, Warbeast, or even Bubbles. That could be huge, but State Green saying, hey, we got the opportunity to take a team fight right here. They're going to find Pharaoh, and Bubbles going to get shell surfed backward. Switterbones is going to go down immediately. A huge pick off for the guys in MRR. Pharaoh's going to go down, but a big ball lightning comes in, and a beautiful wall going to be saving him, but Rhapsody Ultimate going to be going off here as well. Keg goes out, not going to be connecting onto anybody. Parasite's in a lot of trouble. No creeps to get into, and the staccato stuns are going off, preventing him from being able to turn around on anybody. But Parasite is able to get out of there for now. Ball lightning connects, and Drunken Master
what is going on?
And here comes Ravender. He's got the portal key. The auto attacks are coming in here.
What is going on?
3 kills for the guys in MRR as the lead has disintegrated, and this is anybody's game.
What is going on? 3,000 experience lead we had for SG prior to this team fight. They had a decent initiation just on the Pharaoh, but still. Now they're 1,000 experience behind. They're going to lose this tower. They're going to be only 1,000 gold ahead.
And I got to say, the NG Keg in that team fight to push back Bubbles, but here's Bubbles. Take 2. Kelfield goes out. Engineer not going to get the opportunity to drop any God Kegs this time. The tower is destroyed, but they pay for it. Ravender and Engineer go down. This should set up the continuation of the Conqueror.
Yep, they're gonna get the tower, sure, but they lost 2 heroes and they lost Conqueror, and that is actually pretty huge. And that was overplay here from the MRR side for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that they at least forced that buyback, but the buyback wasn't even really important there. Like, it's going to be important at some point as, Pharaoh misses the Wrath of Pharaoh ultimate, and now going to be forced to drop a wall of mummies. Bubble's going to be going in here. Pharaoh going to die immediately, but another big ball lightning. Will they be able to turn this one around? Puppet Master is there with the strings, but it's not going to be enough. Pharaoh is, or excuse me, Cheetah 1X on Ravender is going to need to continue running. Has a portal key up, but not going to be soon enough. He is going to go down. So once more, 2 players down. A buyback this time being forced on the other side. Cheetah 1 dies once more. Kongor is still available. Stay Green has been able to fight themselves right back into this one.
Yeah, right back. And as we just talked about them having a problem, now they're in a good position again. I wouldn't say they're in an amazing position, but they're definitely good. good one. And now with Conquer falling, they're going to have about a 6,000 plus experience lead. Let's see, 7,000, even 7,200 experience lead here for them. And that matters right now because if you have levels ahead over the Legion side, that's going to be really good news for the Parasite. Talking about Parasite though, he hasn't finished his puzzle box yet. It should come with a courier, I suppose. No, it's not. Parasite actually having not the greatest of games, only 240 GPM right now, 0, 3, and 6 here for Minus. But the question is, will they be able to kill and finish the game, kill the Puppet Master and finish the game before Puppet gets too big? Because I still feel, even though the Drunk Master goes through Shrunken Head,
sure,
Puppet will become an issue again.
Yeah, Puppet, his farm is still strong. 427 gold per minute. And Punk Peng, a.k.a. Dooku, he's shown us now, what is this, the third time today that he is on Puppet Master. 3 out of his 4 games. And he's shown that he is a very good player on this hero. You give him the most basic amounts of farm, he's going to be able to bring home the kills and the momentum for his team. So with his next item coming up here relatively soon, what does he need to spend this gold on to have the biggest impact?
Not entirely sure. I think what they need to wait for is another team fight before they can really decide where this game is going to go from here, because that should really influence the item decision that he is going for next. I think that the next team fight could really shape this game. They have a token on the Drunk Master now, so obviously Legion team should be looking to team fight, but they are around the top side. Maybe now deciding to fall back here.
Yeah, and
Bubbles coming in from behind with the Wild Thunder.
Yeah, Rhapsody going to be taken out here, but there's the Wrath of Pharaoh, and Bubbles is in some trouble, has a tablet of command, but the keg comes in, and Bubbles will be taken out. So trading some cooldowns on some spells and a kill for Rhapsody onto that level 15 Bubbles, I think that's well worth it to even up the momentum here for the guys of MRR.
Absolutely, it might even be that they don't have to draw the top tower now, and they get the bottom tower. So
easy.
Plays like this, it feels like, I'm not sure, SG is such a good team, but it feels like they're somewhat struggling here. They are still ahead, and I'm saying that they're struggling because they should be further ahead in this game against MRR.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Nova, and right now they're going to try to get ahead by getting Drunken Master onto the Pharaoh here in the top lane, but in the bottom lane, Puppet Master is going to be able to get a kill onto Warbeast. So in each of those, a trade of 1 for 1, and that Puppet Master kill onto a level 14 Warbeast, definitely a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, the Drunk Master obviously will be here the carry of choice for the SG lineup, and he might actually fight the NG.
I'm not exactly sure what he's doing here. He should be able to TP on out of this. Dust is going to go out, but without a Codex to follow up, there's no kill. And now Parasite's going to be the one going down. MRR with perfect capitalization on the greed of Stay Green, wanting to bring home that kill on a support hero.
It is, I mean, it's their playstyle. It is sometimes weird to watch. Engineer is TPing out, right? He used his spell, so for him it's clear, I TP out now. If I was in the position of Minus, I would say, okay, they disengage. There's nothing going to come from here. And suddenly 3 heroes stand on you and just melt you.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's not something that you generally see, and we have it coming back up here on the replay. Energy field going down. Beautiful placement on the turret to get the damage and, of course, buy himself the time. And Parasite puts himself into a position where he's going to be blocked, but here comes Daddy. Ravener with the ball lightning connects, and then, of course, 3 players. Puppet Master getting credit for that kill.
The saving
continuing to get bigger.
Excuse me. The saving grace here for the Hellborn side, for SG, is that they didn't lose the Ion Empath. That would have been terrible because her ulti was on cooldown, so it would have been very easy for any follow-up initiation here from the Legion side to take out Empath as well. Very squishy here overall, of course, especially with the item build she's going for. Definitely the right item build, but it makes her squishy. So if your ulti is on cooldown and she is carrying this valuable bound eye, I'm glad for SG that they didn't lose that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that could have been catastrophic, avoiding that one though. But with the token of life winding down to about 2.5 minutes here, State Green looking to make use of that one, as they do have 5 players now working on the tier 2 tower. There are 2 players coming in from the MRR squad. The supports looking like they are ready to defend the racks. But until then, they're going to go ahead and try to turn onto the top tower and at least take that one out. But Stay Green, they're going to go ahead and push on the high ground here and start putting some serious damage into the tower.
They want a decision, I think. They don't want to win the game right now, but they want a decision in terms of, like, where's this game going to go from here? Because they have been sitting on this golden experience lead for a while now, and they've lost the top tower. So it's only tier 2 towers standing for them. I shouldn't say only, but if you have the War Beast and the opposing team has the hard carry, it's kind of only tier 2 towers right now. They're even falling back from that base push, at least forcing everyone coming, TPing back to the base, so they get something out of that after the tier 2 tower. It's a very good chain objective that you usually can do. If you get a tier 2 tower and you're not in threat of being immediately initiated on a melted, you can knock on the base door and force everyone to TP back.
Wrath of the Pharaoh going in here, and Drunken Master will be annihilated. Token of Life coming up, though. Wall of Mummies is not there.
Oh my god!
Use of the energy field, though, and Drunken Master goes down immediately. War Beast is gone as well, and now it's going to be Bubbles, Empath, and Parasite running for their lives. A gorgeous team fight, a gorgeous initiation from MRR.
I hope we can see that again.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That energy field with the turret on the Drunk Master, how many times did he go through that
like
ultimate?
4 or 5. Like,
he
it was
melted.
insane, and here it comes right now.
So let's see, there's the initiation. You have token, I don't care. Just going in, obviously popping the Void Talisman. So there's the Keg, but he's already dead. Now they're gonna go for the energy field. There's the turret. 1, 2, 3. That's about 3 to 4 times that he went through that energy field.
A massive amount of damage, making sure that he could not activate and see it there. And he didn't get it off.
No, he didn't.
That's what you need to do if you want to burn through a token like that with an engineer. And I gotta say that our engineer player here, MVP Ever Say, he has been the MVP. He has been landing some amazing kegs, picture perfect energy fields, and sitting at 1, 2, and 11, he's had a massive impact in this game.
It's really fun to watch because he has been both. Like if you remember the
Parasite getting taken out here maybe once more. Although a creep is going to be taken over, that's going to be the Puzzle Box Mauler. So he's able to get out of there. There wasn't enough follow-up. So back to what you were saying.
But again, they're enjoying the game right now. You see, they just go for everything they can go for. But what I wanted to say, Engineer is both. Like if you remember the turret in the middle that killed the Ravenor, that blocked his own teammate, and at the same time, like there was a last game as well, an Engineer player. I'm not sure if it was the same guy or if it was actually the Rhapsody player, but some kegs were absolutely amazing where 3 people are getting pushed away and others like knocked people through the Chronosphere so the Magnus ulti wouldn't hit. So there's really...
It's been hit or miss, I can agree.
It's really great plays and some pretty bad plays. It's both of both worlds in this game here. So I would still consider him a really good player, I have to say.
Yeah, I gotta agree. And speaking of good players, Z-Freak actually making inroads to drop some rather unusual wards. Dropping a ward here in this location in the top lane. And this is one that I've actually seen before that he likes to use specifically for Puppet Master. This is one where Puppet Master will often be stealthing directly in this spot. You see that, you drop a Rev Ward further up in the lane, and you get a counter kill. So we'll see if that one's actually going to come into play.
MRs everywhere right now. They're looking to go for kills all the time. They have a BKB, or they have a Shrunken Head on the Puppet Master, so they don't want to sit and farm another set of core items. They smelled blood, and they're going for probably the mid tower here. I mean, obviously Conqueror isn't up yet, so don't waste time with waiting for that or farming the jungle. They're just going to go for it right now.
There's the buyback coming in right here. Kelphiel going to connect on 3 as well. The silence on the 2. Both supports are down immediately. The portal key away from Ravener. Puppet Master is out of mana. Going to activate the Shrunken Head here, but it is not going to matter. The buyback and the jump from the guys that Stay Green net them 3 kills for nothing. And Ravener, he's not out of the woods yet. Going to be able to portal key on away, so he should be able to get out of there. But Stay Green are marching up the middle lane. This is a double damage Drunken Master. They're going to be looking to not only drop this tier 2 tower, but start pounding away at those racks.
Luckily for MRI, he doesn't have the mana yet, else that tower would completely melt, even the base tower. The levels on Engineer and Rhapsody are pretty low, so they're going to respawn in time. Puppet does have a buyback. Engineer, interestingly enough, has 2,400 gold after his death, so he chose not to buy his portal key. Instead, he buyback gold, and it could have been coming in handy here, but he doesn't need that, opportunity for him now. So, I mean, the tower just drops, it melts. They have to respond.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something, and of course, there's the Pharaoh ultimate going to be coming on in here, catching Drunken Master. The ball lightning goes out, but it's not going to actually connect. Is that a result of the Drunken Master ultimate, the Untouchable?
Same as with Devourer.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
But there's a TP. Oh, that's just an Engineer. He's frustrated. He just wants to get something done.
He's trying to get the Drunken Master, but to no avail. So the buyback there on Puppet Master, not being able to net any kills, and that ultimate there coming in from Drunken Master, coming into huge effect.
Yep, definitely. this is why you usually don't want to go for him, but then again, who do you go for instead? And the War Beast, I think it's the next best target to go for as a Pharaoh here. He does have the Void Talisman, so he's not going to get melted by the War Beast at least. And, I mean, it's good to go for the Drunk Master, because Drunk Master is the most valuable hero right now, or was up to that point. Now Bubbles taking over, actually, in terms of GPM, and Bubbles having a Tablet and an Arcana, so he's going to go for a Hellflower here, most likely.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big one when you're going up against Shrunken Heads and Shroud here on Pup. If you can get the initiation and the Hellflower off very early, then, well, might be able to burst down that Puppet after all.
So I kind of want to ask you, I mean, obviously we have had a lead for Stay Green, I think the entirety of the game, at least in terms of gold, and most of the game in terms of experience. Again,
sure.
And still, they're sitting on a pretty healthy 6,500 gold lead and about 6,000 experience lead. Where do you see them right now? Would you say, which team would you rather like to play in if this was your GSL event?
Oh man, it's hard to say. Like, War Beast is getting bigger. Just picked up a Brutalizer here. Puzzle Box, gonna be level 3 here on Parasite. But on the other side, you've got the Puppet Master and the tools to make that Puppet Master gigantic. The lockdown potential. I gotta say, right now, I'd still be a little bit more comfortable in the hands of Stay Green, especially if they can get this next Kongor kill. But that's really what's gonna be quite important.
Yep, and speaking about Kongor, there it is, and they're going for it straight away, but obviously the Legion Chief must respond to this. They have wards there as well.
MRR, they are available. Pharaoh could go in with the hook. Puppet Master going to be activating the Shroud. Never mind, that was actually a Wild Hunter on the hunt here. Will he actually engage, or is he just getting some scouting information? Walked by a Rev Ward.
Yep.
So the Legion team now completely aware that there was, in fact, a little bit of a danger lurking in the darkness. As well, an Invis hasted Drunken Master. That's going to be even more dangerous as he's looking for him. Puppet Master going to go for the stealth here. Pharaoh is not the target that Shrunken Master is looking for. Bubbles is there. Going to be trying to shut down the Puppet Master very quickly, but Puppet going to be able to turn that one around. Gets the kill into Bubbles, and they're not able to find him. Puppet Master running. Energy field is absolutely gigantic. Puppet Master is going to go down, though, and Stay Green turning this one around. Ravender having to run on out of there. Pharaoh going to drop the wall of mummies. He's not going to be able to let anybody get through there.
That was so close.
Like that, yeah, that energy field had the opportunity to turn that fight completely around, but unfortunately, Puppet Master goes down. He was just too low on HP.
So it is 2-4-2 after all. Let's see in the replay. Obviously, the Drunk Master only wants to go for the Puppet. There's a Pharaoh. He could almost one-shot, but he wants to go for the Puppet. Puppet pops the Shrunken Head just in time, goes for the Bubbles. He's not able to finish him immediately, but just in time, especially with the Raven Order together. So now he's trying to get away. Engineer waiting patiently. Now getting the ulti, hitting the Drunk Master with it at least. There was still a Shrunken Head activated on Warby, so he's not going to get him. But, I mean, they almost made the best out of this, but if Puppet would have survived there, it would have been amazing for MRR.
Yeah, that absolutely would have been, and as you can hear, the Kongor attempt is going on here in the background, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to finish this one up, at least not without a fight, as Puppet Master is not going to be there, but the rest of the team is. Pharaoh goes in, drops the wall, has the Void Talisman available, but is that going to be enough to get out of there? I don't know what exactly 07T1 was thinking there. MRR was not on the same page.
No.
Free monkey, free token.
I mean, 071 has been the only player that was kind of out of sync so far with the other players, going in for hooks when there was not even team backup, just like in this case, or at the entrance, or on the bottom lane, and missing a lot of hooks as well. He's not playing bad for sure, but he's not on the same page as his team, as this showed very easily. So, right now, SG having a slightly bigger lead right now, but the last team fight was struggle already. I mean, they have the token now. That is very important, of course. So, we'll see if they are able to close it out right here, because that's what they're going to try.
They're certainly going to try indeed. That tower already quite low. Puppet Master going to go ahead and activate the Genjuro. That Whiplash crit will one-shot some creep. And here comes Ravender opening up onto Warbeast, but the Shrunken Heads are going off. Rhapsody is down, and Ravender being stunned down by the Brutalizer. He is going to fall. Bubbles is in. Going to be able to get the Kelp Field, but that's on a Shrunken-headed target. Not going to matter. The racks will fall. Here comes the last buyback on Cheetah One. Engineer going to be trying to get the full combo off onto Bubbles, and Bubbles will likely die right here, but the rest of the team should be able to escape, no problem. So Stay Green able to take down the melee racks. That's what we're looking there. Ravender gets a beautiful ball lightning there, and now it's most likely going to be a dead empath. He's got the Essence Link going off, saving him at least for now, but the team support's coming in. There's the Wrath of the Pharaoh, and 2 hero kills for MRR after the final buyback from Cheetah 1X.
Man, I want to see, we're probably not going to see, but I want to see if his ultimate of Empath was running out anyways, or he sacrificed himself so that Drunk Master wouldn't get hit, because that was a split-second decision. If Z-Freak actually made that decision himself, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's
then.
one of those things you kind of got to ask the player themselves, or see if, well, once again, if that timer was going down right there. But only time will tell. Parasite going to be TPing back to town here, as the guys from MRR, they're feeling very pressured, making their way up the middle lane. We're hoping to get some kind of damage onto the melee racks, but they're not able to. Was there a buyback? I don't think so.
No, there was no buyback.
Okay, Limp used that buyback earlier then.
No, he bought back twice already. He has the token though. Once the token runs out, however, it might actually just be game for SG if they lose the Drunk Master before any team fight. So that is something to keep in mind. But I don't think MRR should be here at all.
They want to go in. If they can lock down and kill the Drunken Master and then drop the energy field, that could be huge. And he's using Stagger right now. Puppet Master going to go in, and there's the initiation. The Ball Lightning is there with the Wrath of Pharaoh as well. He is down. Engineer gets the energy field off once more. The keg is not in the correct location. The turret is perfect, though, and Drunken Master will go down. Bubble's going to be coming in off the backside, though. War Beast is going to go down. There's the Rhapsody Ultimate. It is absolutely beautiful. Buyback going to be coming in here, and, well, it looks like the Engineer going to be able to get off another good keg, but Chessie is back here on the War Beast, but the guys from MRR are able to get out of there, unfortunately without their Puppet Master, who was felled in combat.
Yeah, the Puppet Master died, but they did get 2 Drunken Masters.
2 Drunken Masters, the War Beast and the War Beast buyback.
Yes. Like, I don't know how they're able to do it. It's just, they're sitting in on, they're like, let's do it anyways. So here we see in the replay, there's the initiation, he melts immediately, there's nothing they can do about it.
It was beautiful.
There's the NG ulti. These mummy walls are so good because they take away time from the War Beast to hit. Twice he gets pushed into the mummy walls and consecutively dies as well. Rhapsody ulti, pretty good there, even though it's very short. Then there's a ward actually being dropped down, and they make the best out of that team fight, I have to say. And then everyone ports out. Even Ravenor with a split-second decision again, stunning them and PKing out.
It was very well played, and MRR, whether they win or lose this game at this point, they have shown absolutely phenomenal skill.
Yep.
Their team fights, their coordination have been phenomenal, and I've gained a lot of respect for them personally. I've seen this team play a lot in the past. When you talk about their performance in SEA HoN Tour, they were always the team that was on the cusp of making it into the playoffs. They ended up making it to every one of the playoffs, and they ended up finishing second 3 times in those playoffs, making it into the grand finals, but unfortunately were never able to win. The team that is not always the headliner, but they're always sitting there waiting in second place. It looks like they've shown up this time. They're looking to establish themselves as not only the dominant team here in Southeast Asia, but they're still looking at the possibility of taking down the world champions.
Indeed they are. I have to say though, MR is playing really well, no doubt about that, but I have to say, it is also a big part here on SG, I feel like. SG is not playing how we're usually seeing them. It is a different style that they're playing. There's a Bubbles initiation, forcing a Shrunken Head. They might actually go for the mid lane with that, or falling completely back to disengage because they won't get a Ganjura initiated. But they might be able to push with that right now. If they want 40 seconds on the Shrunken Head, nope, they're looking to farm right now. What I wanted to say is SG is not the SG that we used to see right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they are completely out of it, that they are playing really terrible and it's shocking what we're seeing here. I would just say they're not as sharp as they usually are on LAN events. And that is showing here. Yes, MRR is playing good, but they're not even the best team in Southeast Asia. There are 2 teams that are supposedly better than MRR.
Yeah, when you're talking about S2Y and you're talking about ADN, the teams that have actually won some of these major events over the last 6 or 8 months. But MRR showing that they came to play, and for SG, they've always been the team that, like you said, the LAN environment is their home.
Yep.
They drop matches on online matches all the time. They lose to Lions in half of the cycles in HoN Tour Season 1. They've lost countless times online. They've never lost a best of 3 on LAN. They have never lost a best of 3 on LAN. They drop best of 1s. They might drop a best of 2,
Yep.
but they've never dropped a best of 3.
Yep.
We'll see if they're going to be able to regain that composure a little bit later on today, maybe in quarterfinals or tomorrow's semifinals, something along those lines. But right now, they've still got MRR immediately ahead of them. They're ahead in this match, but not that far.
Yep,
One
not
team
that
fight
far.
can still turn this one around.
Oh my god, Empire. Okay. That was a really weird way to play spider mines, or weird placement, and it's actually 7 of them. So I don't know. Empath sitting on her Striders. She has level 16 though, so maybe she would not have died, but that was close.
Yeah, did those get triggered? I can't even find them here on the map.
Oh, excuse me. They're here at the small camp of the Legion side. Small camp of the Legion.
Oh,
side.
there they are, right there. Yeah,
Really
barely
hit
even
against the
showing
Bandai.
up. That is indeed, yes, 7 mines. So eventually somebody's going to trigger those. I hope it's not these Warbeast Wolves as they're kind of hanging out over there. But one more time, Stake Green going to be heading into the bottom lane. Once more under the breach. This lane's already been blown up. The rain tracks are the only ones left standing. So Stake Green just wants to make sure to push those up before they actually make their way back into the middle lane. Or even take a look at Kongor, as that one's going to be coming up here in the next few minutes.
I think they're playing Windborne style right now. They are waiting to exploit as much as possible about Kongor, because, I mean, as much as MRR is having this Puppet Master, and to an extent the Ravenor as well now, who's Ice branded. It's interesting. I would have liked him to go for more damage because he is somewhat durable. But yeah, okay, it's most likely going to be a Frostwolf Skull. I hope he doesn't go Dawnbringer, because that would be the best choice here.
Yeah, I mean, Dawnbringer is one of those items that when Super KGE first brought this hero onto the scene, talking about 5 or 6 months ago, then yeah, at that point, Super KGE experimented with playing around with the Dawnbringer. Eventually decided that probably wasn't the best build in most circumstances. But it wouldn't surprise me to see something like that coming out. The Frostwolf Skull, also very important that it goes through Shrunken Heads.
Yep.
And when that's 3 Shrunken Heads on the opposing team, you're going to not only be making yourself bulkier, but you're going to slow down the attacks and the movement speed of those very important heroes.
Dawnbringer, the reason why I don't like Dawnbringer is because of the stage of the game. We're 45 minutes in. By the time he's going to have finished it, it's, what is it then, 50 minutes or something. That's usually not when you want to have a Dawnbringer. It's like getting a Runed Axe at this point in the game. The other thing about Frostwolf Skull, which I don't like much either, is that Warbeast is always going to have max movement speed. And the Drunken Master is so mobile, as you pointed out earlier, it won't affect him too much, to be honest. And Empath is hiding, Bubbles is taking cover, so and overall the Frostwolf Skull won't have too much impact here.
Yeah, not sure.
As an attack modifier, that is.
Yeah, not sure that that's going to be the best pickup either, but in any case, that's what he's going at least for now. But talking about that Kongor, that one should be back up here in like a minute or 2, and that could very well be the next point of contest for this match. With major item pickups coming out, Shrunken Head there on Parasite, you got Demonic being fished up on Mr. Drunken Master, and a Shrunken Head just picked up on the Little Turtle himself. That's 4 now here for the Hellborn squad. That's going to be really, really important. And the energy field, all of a sudden, it's not going to be as important. And whoa! Shield Breakers, level 1 and 2, I believe, just picked up there on Warbeast.
Yep, that is important. If he doesn't get bumped into mummy walls anymore, then he should actually be able to almost melt the Puppet. Puppet went for Gonjuro, which is not the... I mean, it is common on Puppet Master, but in this game here right now, I don't like it too much, because it doesn't even add that much damage compared to other items he could go for, and it doesn't add too much survivability either. There's always going to be a Bound Eye Up and Puzzle Box, so yeah, not too much of a fan here. Kongor is up again, obviously SG is posing around that. They started a little bit on the Kongor, so they did alert the Legion team that Kongor was poked at least.
Yeah, and well, he's kind of just hanging out in there right now. Stay Green, not wanting to pay too much attention to the big guy, as a nice Pharaoh Rocket scouts out Drunken Master. But the Legion team, they're in the vicinity. They're showing that they're not going to let this one go uncontested. But damn,
no, they have to take care of bottom.
Pharaoh. That could be really, really big.
Yeah, I don't know how he got it and how he got level 17 as well, because he's still sitting on 238 GPM, but that goes to show how quickly this game has passed in terms of time. We're actually almost 50 minutes in and it doesn't really feel like it.
It's been a very fast-paced game with 48 kills in 48 minutes. We've been keeping a pretty solid pace, and Stay Green once more going to be hopping on into the Kongor pit. trying to take this one out with just Warbeast himself. But those Wolves are going to go down, and Warbeast can't take care of this himself. He just gets bashed up a little bit too much. So as long as those rockets are coming out from Pharaoh, that's going to be really, really effective.
More importantly, they didn't actually get to cover to counterword all the wards that were present. So Legion team does know what's going on, and they have, as you pointed out, the Pharaoh works as well. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the hasty Parasite definitely wants to go for it. If the Pharaoh knows this, he should have seen it, but he doesn't dare to go. Maybe
he's going to go right now, actually. Has the Hellflower activated, and Parasite's in a lot of trouble. Beautiful tablet of command, and run away, Mr. Minuts. He's gone. That was beautiful placement by Z-Freak. If he was not there with that tablet of command, that would have been a kill on the Parasite and likely a Kongor steal. That
was so dangerous. Fortunately for the MRR side, they didn't devote too much to this. The Pharaoh ulti obviously has a very low cooldown, and Ravenor is Ravenor, so not much to say about that. They're going to get the Wolves here, okay? Kinda. Both teams just posing now. Bubbles. Swindle saying, I have enough of this, I'm just going to push into top lane. Let's see how much they react to this, if we can sneak into Kongor again. But they don't know that the ward is still up here for the Legion side on Kongor.
Yeah, they're not sure. They thought they swept that with a Bound Eye, and we'll see if that's going to come back to bite them or not. Stay Green once more going to go for another sweep, and they are going to see it this time. Eliminate the ward. The Rev ward's likely going to stay up. Yeah, just doesn't have enough time on the Bound Eye, but that's not really that important. And once more, Warbeast into the pit.
And unfortunately,
not going to be good enough as the Hellhounds get sniped a little bit by the Token of Life, and a new ward going up once more. That should have been scouted out by Z-Freak, though.
Yeah, I think so. Hellhound going scout here, getting dropped immediately, of course. I mean, this stalemate, the problem about these type of stalemates here is that it could explode any second. So you can't sit there as any player, be carry or support, and be like, okay, I'm going to farm this camp here. I'm going to have an eye on Kongor and see what happens. Because any point in time, there could be some sort of initiation from either team, and suddenly everything drops. So they have to be on their toes the entirety, and this could go on for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be an extremely important Kongor kill in a fight that could very well decide the game. So a game of cat and mouse being played here in the bottom river. And, well, neither team really wanted to be the one that makes that first mistake. Meanwhile, the other lanes are being pushed out pretty evenly. There's not one that's going to be going too much further. Maybe Stay Green's top lane might push out. That could be an issue. But Stay Green doing the roam through the jungle now. They might find somebody. Parasite's up on the front lines.
Remember, there's a Wild Hunter. There will
mines here still, and there's a ward of sight. So definitely Colorex being able to get that one down is very important. The Courier going to go forward, might get sniped out. Not going to happen, though, as forward goes Engineer. Engineer taking a lot of damage. He's not going to be able to get any spells down. Taken out by Bubbles, and here's Empath on the backside in a lot of trouble. Puppet Master trying to run away from Warbeast, who's hasted up here. Drunken Master lunges forward, gets the kill on that one, and 4 for nothing in favor of Stay Green. They say, forget Kongor. We're going for the middle lane here, Nova. And what's the buyback situation? None available. This could very well be the game. Screw the racks. They're going for the throne right here. As Stay Green saying, you got us once, you're not getting us twice. GG, well played. Being called right here as Stay Green evens up this series at 1-1. You can see the relief on the players there from Stay Green as they're just like, holy crap, that could have been very bad if they had lost the series.
Absolutely. They're definitely relieved, like 0-2. This is not how you want to go into day 3. So I have to say, it was an exciting match. We saw a lot of shrunken heads in the end. It was 6 shrunken heads actually.
Sure.
And kind of have to fault Cheetah 1 for the last team fight because he wasn't able to get the ball lightning out there on the Drunken Master, I believe it was, or Bubbles. I'm not sure either of the target. He missed the ball lightning, and they were able to just collapse on the puppet and take the supports on the sidelines without even devoting too much to them. So yeah, last team fight very unfortunate, but overall the series super exciting and really good. And if MRR is able to put up such a fight against SG, we're gonna have one hell of a tournament ahead of us.
Yeah, we absolutely are. So there are, of course, other matches going on, or that did finish up relatively recently. So we might have an update for you guys on that one pretty soon to see how those ones turned out. As far as the future matches, as you can hear, there is a concert that has actually just begun behind us. We're running a little bit behind schedule as a result of some very long games right here. So the concert just got started. But that's good because we're done with matches for right now. We're going to take about an hour break before we get back into the third